Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Erik, and I'm here with,
Coach Carpenter.
and we are a part of the La Vega 2025 podcast. And today we're just gonna start off by asking some questions about what he did before he became a teacher. So, question number one is, what did you do before you was a teacher?
Man, I did a little bit of everything, but the most important thing that I did that was profound for me right now is I played football. So obviously I went to Pittsburgh State. After Pittsburgh State, I was blessed with the opportunity to continue my football playing career, multiple leagues, from NFL opportunities to CFL to arena football. So I spent about 5, 6 years chasing that dream, and some of it paid off, some of it didn't. You know, some ups and downs, some lows, but ultimately I landed here, and this is where I'm at today.
Okay. And are you happy or proud of where you are now, or?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm definitely proud of where I am now. This is like a profound moment for me. It's the greatest satisfaction you get, you know, as a person coming back to your high school, fulfilling your dream of coaching and playing ball and still being a part of the game in some capacity.
And when you made it to the NFL or college, what was that like?
It was great joy knowing that all the hard work that you put into, you know, your childhood dream coming up, because everybody wants to go and reach the highest pinnacle of their sport or profession, and then you get there, and then boom, there's a letdown. But you know, ultimately, it's the dream that I had as a kid, and I was able to at least see it, for a second, and it was one of the greatest things I ever did in my life, and I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. So question number two is, so basically, you wouldn't be nowhere else, would you? You wouldn't rather be doing anything else?
No, not right now. I mean, obviously, there's looking hindsight, looking 22, looking back, you would say there's other things that I could do, but I wouldn't change anything. Like, this is like the greatest thing that happens in my life every day outside of my family and faith. But this is the thing that I wake up for every day. I love football. I love sports. I love being here, and I love taking care of the business.
Okay. And why did you become a teacher? What made you go from the NFL to just being a teacher here?
It wasn't like the main thing that was on my mind, because I didn't go to school for education. I went to school for business administration and then rec administration as well. So I was here. My little brother was a senior in high school, so I was just back here working out with him. And Coach Williams was the head coach at that time, who gave me the opportunity to come in and coach. So he asked me, hey, I don't know what you got going on, but whenever you get done, whatever you're doing, I want you to come coach for me. And that's kind of how I got into the education world.
And you got kids, right?
Yeah, got two.
How many? Okay.
Got two, a boy and a girl, Riley and JT. So,
explain how they impacted your life.
Definitely made me grow up. At the time, just kind of going through life, trying to figure out what you're gonna do. When you have kids, your responsibility change, your identity change, and everything that you do, every decision that you make, got to be for them. So you can't be selfish anymore. You got to be selfless. So everything that I do now, every day, impacts what they are going to become. So I make sure every day I try to be 1% better for them. So when they have a chance to come up as young adults, they're gonna make the right choices.
And so like you said earlier, you're happy doing what you're doing?
I love it. I wouldn't change anything. It's the greatest satisfaction every day. I feel like I don't come to work. I come, to have fun every day and just, enjoy other people's company.
Okay. And do you plan on retiring anytime soon, or?
I wish I could retire tomorrow. That's the goal for everybody. But obviously, I still got love for this game, passion for what I do. As long as I got passion and love for it, I'm going to continue on. The day that I don't, that's the day that I stop coaching and stop teaching.
Okay. And outside of work, what do you do for fun?
Gotcha. Just hang with family. That's the biggest thing. We spend so much time up here, with you guys coaching and all that. Once I get out of these four walls, I try to spend as much time with them and do all the fun things that I can with them every day, and see them, do their sports or their extracurricular activities.
And what sports do you teach or coach?
Football and track. Football and track. I used to do basketball my first 8 years I was here. I did all three sports: football, basketball, and track. Then I got out of basketball to focus on football and track.
Okay, and you would say that you're successful and proud of where you are, or?
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's definitely success. Coming from where I come from, getting the opportunity that I got that I wasn't supposed to get, it's definitely a success. Nothing came easy. All the hard work that we put into to get to the position, it's definitely a success, because I could have been in other places, that some of my friends or cousins or brothers, have landed outside of this.
Okay. Speaking of like brothers and all that, like what was it like growing up in your environment?
It was tough, man. Like, you got 5 brothers, a sister. It's like 8, 9 people staying in a 2-bedroom home. So it was rough coming up on the east side of Waco. You see a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of decisions that you could have made that could have changed the trajectory of my life. But ultimately, when you got 2 good parents who stay on you, who raise you the right way, and keep you focused on what the goal is, you just keep the main thing, and then you end up successful one day. You just got to stay on the grind.
What are like some places that you have traveled and been around and like,
Man, I've been blessed, man, through sports. Starting, as a small kid, 5, 6 years old, I started running summer track. So for summer track, if you don't know anything about summer track AAU, you travel all across the world if you're fast enough and you get selected to these AAU teams. So coming up, we couldn't afford family vacation. So that week long or that week and a half week long AAU or national meet, like that was a family vacation that we got. So I ran hard as I could to make sure that at the end of that summer we were gonna have a family vacation somehow, some way. So I've been fortunate enough to see 41 out of 50 states do the sports. Like, and I've traveled to Mexico, I've traveled to Canada before. I actually played in the CFL. So, so I've been blessed to see a lot of things in my life do the sports that I probably wouldn't have seen outside of it.
So you don't see yourself nowhere else without sports?
I mean, I think I could have, obviously my mom and dad preached education, so I took care of that for sure. I think I would still have the same ambitions to do and go see things and travel like that, but I think sports was the gateway for when I came up in my time frame. That was like the answer to go to college. Like, we couldn't afford it. So it was always on our mind to go, but the way to get there and to get that free opportunity or get some school paid for was through sports.
Okay, and like education, what was your GPA like in high school for you to go to college?
My GPA, man, I was a kid who took care of business, but sometimes I slacked off in high school. Like, I didn't appreciate it at the time. Like, so I think I graduated high school with like a 2.8, 2.9. Got me? And I didn't appreciate it till I got to college. And I had this guy, this old coach by the name of Chuck Lawrence, who, like, he was the dude who made you do everything right. Like, he preached to you. He showed you what life could be, the opportunities you could have, only if you stayed on track and you listened and you followed these things. So I graduated college with a 3.8. So, and it's 4.0 scale. So it's a big difference once you start to mature and you start to see a different side of life. Like, you hanging with friends in high school thinking this is cool, that's cool, I'm just going to relax. But it's a big difference. Like, these 4 years of high school are the most important times of your life because your next 40 years are going to be great or you're going to struggle the next 40 years based on these 4 years.
What was the environment like in college versus high school? Like, what was the switch like?
Business. Like, you got to be about your business. Like, there's no more plan, there's no more immaturity, there's no more mom and dad telling you got to do this. Everything that you get is based on your efforts, your energy, you know what I'm saying, and your attention to details or lack thereof. Like, if you want to relax and all that, well, don't expect much out of life. But if you want to get something and go somewhere far, you got to pay attention. You got to do the little things that other people aren't doing. Because in the job market, everything's competitive. You know what I mean? If you want to rise up in your position, in your field, whatever it is, everybody's competing every single day. If you're not, then you ain't going to get nothing out of it. So, that was coming from where I came from, you had to hustle. Like, you had to be something. You had to grind because I knew what the end of the road was if I didn't. I'm coming back to East Waco, nothing, broke, dead broke. Don't eat, no food. Like, if you ain't been through that struggle, you don't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? So me, I didn't want to feel that hunger again, that pain like that. Like, so I just stayed kept the main thing. But like I said, my mom and my dad, they did a heck of a job pushing that in me all the time, no matter what the outcome is going to be.
And it wasn't hard moving away from them when you went off to Pittsburgh?
No, it wasn't because, like I say, it's what they instill in you. Like, no matter where you go, you take what they've taught you with you. Like, you know what I mean? So you can go and you can survive in any environment because you was raised that way. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't me like, I'm going to miss my mom, miss dad. Everybody's going to miss somebody that you've been close to all the time. But I knew what I was there for. So as long as I knew what I was there for, that was going to stay strong and firm. You know what I mean? So that possibility, that's all it was. I just needed the opportunity to get out.
Yeah, because you knew you could always go back.
Always go back. You can't always go, but you can always come back home. Home is going to be home no matter what.
Yeah.
But if you don't take the chance on yourself or take that opportunity, you'll never know what it's like.
This will be the end of our 2025 business podcast with Coach Carp.
So.
How long was it?
How long did you do?